This video segment addresses manual setup of the approved list. To access the approved list, click on Setup Approved List. A list of companies set up on the approved list is displayed. Transactions received by companies on the approved list receive an approved list pay status if the transaction is within the parameters defined in the approved list. To create a new approved list entry, click on the Create button on the top left of the approved list screen. To set up an approved list entry from this screen, first enter the company ID. This information will need to be obtained from the company you intend to set up. This number is used to match against the company ID in the batch header record of the ACH file being received by the financial institution. Enter the company name for descriptive purposes. Additional parameters can be set but are optional. To restrict a single debit from a company by dollar amount, enter a maximum amount. Transactions under that amount will receive a status of approved list pay unless another parameter exists that is violated. To restrict the frequency a company can debit an account, select the drop-down and select the desired frequency. If no frequency is selected, all debits from the company will receive an approved list pay status unless another parameter is violated. If a frequency is selected and more than one debit is received during the frequency cycle, the first debit will receive an approved list pay status and the second debit will receive the default setting status. By default, the start date will be today. This can be modified. The end date can be established. Debits that arrive after the start date and before the end date will receive an approved list pay status unless another parameter is violated. Debits that arrive before the start date or after the end date will receive the default setting status. Once the company and parameter information is established, select the accounts the company is permitted to debit from the left box and move them to the right box. When all of the information is entered correctly, click the Save button. Daily is every 1 business day. Weekly is every 7 calendar days. Bi-weekly is every 14 calendar days. Monthly is every monthly date to date. Quarterly is quarterly date to date. Yearly is yearly date to date. Date-to-date exceptions are non-leap year, January 29th, 30th, and 31st through February 28th. Leap year, January 30th, 31st through February 29th. March 31st through April 30th. May 31st through June 30th. August 31st through September 30th. October 31st through November 30th.